Previously on Acquisitions Incorporated and Dice Camera Action.
Ooh.
What?
Excuse me?
Hello?
Jarlaxle met with Omen Drawn to negotiate the robbery of the Castellanter Bank. However, the bank heist did not go off as planned, and there were some unforeseen consequences. Possibly some people were shunted into a different world. I don't know. But Strix got out, with the aid of her word of recall, returned to the warm, loving home known as the Waffle House, which hasn't fared well in the weeks since. The top two floors having basically been trashed, leaving the bottom two floors in a bit of a shambles, and business is suffering. However, after killing the wizard Manchun, the Waffle Crew obtained a black robe of the Archmagi, which they then proceeded to arrange to sell to Acquisitions Incorporated for 50,000 gold pieces, a deal that was concluded last week when Walnut Donkgrass, documancer extraordinaire, came by the Waffle House with paperwork to sign. That paperwork basically divesting the Waffle Crew of the robe and giving them a bank account filled with 50,000 gold pieces at a local bank. Basically, the money waiting to be picked up by them at their leisure.
Heck yeah, we'll probably get it for real.
And do whatever we want with it.
In other news, Jarlaxle tried to persuade the Waffle Crew to help him get his hands on the Stone of Golor, but those efforts met with limited success, and the Waffle Crew, having allowed Waffles to fall into Jarlaxle's custody, were able to get her back last week when they...
tried to convince and have allowed to fall into custody. I'm feeling like these are not accurate representation. More like extorted and kidnapped. Thank you.
Waffles literally walked onto Jarlaxle's ships when you weren't around. So there was that. But the Waffle Crew discovered that Waffles was trapped in one of Jarlaxle's rings, were able to obtain the ring with some help, and bore it safely back to their residence, where Evelyn took her axe and brought it down on the ring, shattering it. And an explosion of light, Waffles appears before you, and then her weight sends her collapsing through the shabby wooden table onto the floor.
Now we gotta buy a new table.
Something else broke.
It's fine, we're rich.
Importantly, though, Waffles seems to be, like, fine.
She is perfectly fine, instantly aware that she is no longer trapped in this extra-dimensional prison. She shakes her head vigorously, some stray feathers fly, and she proceeds to rampage around the taproom.
Do we all immediately, like, group, like, cuddle around them? Like, when you find a lost dog and everyone's just all trying to hug her and pet her all at the same time, just going, oh, Waffles.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like she's doing that dog thing when they like jump around like super excited, like, like stomp on the ground.
Yep.
Waffles, no, we told you not to jump up.
Exactly.
Oh,
So,
she's adorable.
everyone is reunited. Now, you're still worn from your ordeal. Some of you may still have damage or spent spell slots and whatnot. So bear that in mind.
Cool. All the children are still accounted for. Make sure everyone is still here.
Yes.
We locked the ceilings. I don't think they got out.
I don't think you can lock a ceiling.
Not to ruin the, safety and thing that we want, that being the kids are home safe, but didn't Squidly and Jenks go off to figure out how to lock the sky?
They totally came home again and we're fine.
Okay, so no side adventure.
Yeah, Squidly just comes in the front door. Problem solved.
I did it! I locked the sky.
Well, whatever that means, it sounds like we'll deal with that in the future.
No promises.
Good job.
So this deal that we just made with Walnut and exchanging this, from what I understand, a super powerful cloak
Yeah. So Walnut took the cloak, but
Dark-
you have a letter that basically you will take to the bank, and there's at the top of the letter you can see is up near the letterhead is the bank's address in Waterdeep. Being locals, you know of this bank, seen it many times on your travels through the city. It is run, as all banks are in the city, by one of the more notable families, noble families, the Erling Stars. It's a very old bank,
All right.
trusted,
That's a lot of money.
sitting somewhere.
I know
Building.
we need to repair our house, so that's
At that point in time, a piece of the ceiling just breaks away and falls behind you.
So that would be my priority. But DF, I feel like we have a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah.
Can you help us prioritize what we think might be the most important things for us to take care of at this very moment?
Okay, well, we just made a massive sale, and we should retrieve the money from that so that we can repair our house since it isn't quite in disarray, and further making it dangerous for these kids to even live in.
Business
That's
is
the-
also stalled. People don't generally come to buy pies out of a dilapidated, half-burnt structure.
Yeah, everything's just in rough shape here in general.
That's weird. The pies are still good.
Yes, they're lovely, Strix.
Uh-huh.
Aside from that,
Jenks
we
grabs
know-
one and blows the dust off it. He starts eating it.
Well, he's still eating it. We also know that Duralaxle very desperately wants this Stone of Galore to find this hidden treasure, and we need to make sure that doesn't happen. So to do that, we need to retrieve the Stone of Galore, which is currently, as far as we know, residing with the Asmodeus worshipping Castellanters.
Who didn't they hire us to get it for them anyway?
Sort of. Not really hire us, because that would imply that they gave us something in exchange. It was more of a trust, and they believe that we'll do. I'm sensing a lot of like rich person entitlement from them. Like people will just do what they ask because that's what they're used to, and that's not what we're gonna do.
Yeah, they're not allowed to hurt me.
Yeah. I don't want the Castellanters to have the Stone of Galore or this possible Dragon Horde either, because while they claim it could be used for restoring whatever it was they said, it sounded benevolent at the time. Frankly, I don't trust it.
They
For all I
wanted,
know,
they wanted the money to save the souls of their two youngest children.
that's what it was.
Yeah, and one of their kids was like a chain demon.
Which ultimately, while it does sound like they certainly need those kids need to be helped and saved, it's also, it's their own doing and a very selfish reason for wanting this money.
We also have a very bad track record with children.
I think our children are doing fine.
Yeah, they're killing it, man.
They just locked the sky.
They're the lucky ones.
Well,
Duralaxle also
Squidly goes
claims that he
upstairs
would
with
use-
a big knife from the kitchen.
What do you got there?
No!
Duralaxle also claims that he would use this money and put it back within the city of Waterdeep. And frankly, I don't trust that either. If anything, I assume that he would use this money to somehow gain himself more power through political favors. That's my guess. And admittedly, I have my own reasons for wanting the money to what I believe would help a lot of people and repent for my own sins. And at the same time, it seems that Laryl Silverhand, it's hard to say, but I guess she's putting her full trust and faith in me.
Laryl Silverhand is?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because I don't believe she wants me to go to get it for herself. Like, I see no singular self motivation for her for wanting this. I think she legitimately wants to do the right thing.
That was the person who revealed themselves to me last week, right?
That is correct. The one that was
But Jared
disguised
or
as
DS doesn't know that yet, right?
not yet. Correct.
I didn't know if you told Dieth that last week or not.
Well, when you mention her, Evelyn's like, "Oh, I might have met her. I think."
She's the one who gave you the ring.
You met her?
Well,
I've been with you like this whole time.
I mean, it appeared that I was dealing with, that priest of Lathander, and that she was being a real big meanie and making me shut up and stuff. But then it turned out that was Miss Silverhand, or at least that's what she told me. And then she gave me the ring, and she said she was in disguise, which I believed her, but it's very confusing for me.
Is that the one I sent to wherever they go?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so is that bad?
I mean, I think you made the right call on your instincts, but I don't feel that Laryl Silverhand is any kind of threat from us whatsoever. But if she was there helping,
Can she do that? Can she just make herself look exactly like someone else?
Yeah, she's a wizard.
from what little I've experienced, she certainly has extremely powerful magic. So I wouldn't put it past her. Now, I don't think she was there just to help save Waffles. There's no way she would have known that or found that so important that she would make it a point for herself to go and help us. She was there for another reason, possibly keeping an eye on Durlaxle, especially if she was disguised as someone from the Morning Spires.
The whole I don't know. I don't understand this whole Jarlaxle is seeking the light, but he's actually not, and I think I need some time to think, or maybe even go to the spires or something.
Well,
Can we sleep first?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll just take a moment before we go anywhere, but I think it's important that Evelyn, Jarlaxle does not care about the light. He doesn't care about Lathander. And I know that hurts, but he was lying, and he was just trying to use you.
I think he is a big problem.
He is. And that's all the reason why we need to stop him. And I don't think stopping him just means going in there, blades out, and killing him. Like, there are...
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, if the Open Lord of Waterdeep is spying on him, he's got bigger problems than us.
Right. The better way to defeat him is to hit him where it hurts. Make him lose.
Or
Well,
Losing is worse than dying for him.
He once told you that he never loses.
well, see, the thing is, if he's dead, he can't win either.
That's,
He can still come back though, because when you die, you go someplace else, and he can easily crawl his way back here.
But
Yeah.
if we send him into the light to find his new path and a new dawn, then maybe he'll be a better person.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's the
maybe-
kind of person
oh,
that's
maybe
going to find that.
Lathander, and then he can take it up with him.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe
Look,
if anyone can get through to him, it's Lathander.
Yeah,
Look,
for
I
sure.
think you guys might be severely underestimating him. Besides, if he has further political allies and we attack him directly, he can tap into those resources and send those after us.
I mean, I saw his challenge rating. It wasn't like horrible. We might be able to like go in if he's alone.
As usual, I don't know what Paulton's talking about, but
Like
It
I
is-
couldn't solo him, but if we went in with a plan, like we could, I think we could do it.
When was the last time we had a plan that actually became a plan?
Well, we've had plenty of plans.
We've had several plans. We once planned to have a plan.
But they don't work.
We have a plan to have a plan, right?
well,
Whatever.
either way, Dieth is right. I did underestimate him in a lot of ways, and I just had him all wrong in a lot of other ways. So
And if Laryl Silverhand was there, disguised as, what's her face from the Spires? Telastin?
Yep.
If she was there as
Adara.
Telastin, speaking what seemed like unfriendly terms to Durlaxle, that could potentially be one of Durlaxle's connections, and therefore puts suspicion on both Telastin and possibly the entirety of the Morning Spires.
we should probably talk to the Open Lord if you can. Can you? Are you guys on like calling terms? Could you just like show up?
It's not that simple.
Could we send her a message somehow?
Can't you Peter through your like guard badge or something?
No, I
You got,
can't.
like an open line or something.
No, I don't have anything like that.
Like,
Home address.
No.
Social.
can you yell into a cup and then the person on the
Yeah, the cup with like a
other
string.
end
You don't have a cup with a
of the
string
cup,
on it?
here's it. It's not
I don't have that either.
that.
Look,
That's why they call it thieves' can't.
for all I know, no one is supposed to know that her and I have been talking to each other or even cooperating in the slightest. So if that's the case, I'd rather not put her at any extra risk.
Well, then it sounds like maybe our priority should be to fix our house, keep our kids safe, and wait till she deems to contact us.
I think so. I think fixing the house and making sure that these kids are okay is a good step to begin with. And then that way we have a better place to rest, that we are better rested to deal with Castellanters, Delaxel, and devil worshippers, and so many other things. I'm so tired, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of baddies this season. It's really weird.
Well,
Well, it sounds like we all need a nap.
yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, maybe I can use a little extra time to figure something out or plan something, but
Or you could sleep.
You could sleep.
I could.
We all.
All right, it's settled then. We all go to sleep.
Okay. You wake up having. How long did you plan to sleep? Like a long rest sleep, or just like a
Yeah.
cat nap? Okay.
Oh, a long old rest.
All right. Then you feel much better after your long rest. It's
My
probably
magic's back.
that would put it kind of in the early evening.
Yay.
Oh no, we woke up in the evening.
How long are the banks open until?
So many of the banks double as kind of gentlemen's and ladies' clubs for the well-to-do. So they can stay open for a while.
Okay. All right. Well, if we want to get this place prepared, we should probably retrieve our money and start. I mean, at this point, we're like regulars for so many like home repairmen.
And we probably know like roughly about how much it's going to cost too. Like we don't have to take all of it out, right?
Yeah, maybe we can get a discount or something. Well, Evelyn, Paulton, I mean, the two of you are the ones who arranged this whole thing. So,
Yeah, I wanna
take
make
it away.
sure this money is like real.
Yeah. So,
Do the bank.
Do we have to dress up fancy to go to this bank?
ooh, I don't know. I've never been in a bank.
So it is customary not to enter a bank with a bunch of weapons and armor, but to dress well. Yeah.
But when you're a paladin, dressing well just means the same thing and also always weapons, right?
I'm just saying, banks tend to have security
gonna-
systems.
So I'm gonna just pull up my like dress pants, but keep the bathrobe and Strahd slippers on.
All right. Paulton's taken
Okay.
care of.
Well,
I didn't have a great time last time I went to a bank, so
True.
I maybe should just like polymorph myself and just like hide on one of you.
I mean, I'm not going to change. I'm not really in the mood. So you can hide in one of my pouches if you want.
All right.
oh, well. Paulton, do you want anyone inside with you, or do you think you can just get it on your own?
Oh, I'm coming. I'll go with him.
Okay.
I'm just not going to change.
All right. They may not let you get in too far, being heavily equipped.
I'm just going on whoever makes it in. I will stay on them in case things go south for no reason.
And what,
Because
form,
they
what
always-
form are you going to assume while you are traveling in Evelyn's pouch?
Just a rat
Okay.
with a little witch
Then if
hat.
we get to the door and they won't let me in, I can be like, "Here, Paulton, take this innocuous pet rat with you.
We'll just tell them it's a therapy rat.
It's an emotional support rat.
I am an emotional support
Yeah,
rat.
it's not even a lie."
I don't think it's a bad idea to have at least Evelyn ready, just in case. Who knows? But
There you go.
I'll try to go with you. Hold on 1 second. I'll go throw something nice on, and Dieth will run off to his room.
Okay.
Basically, throw on just like that like fluffy dress shirt that he wore to
the party.
the manor. Even though it's definitely like still like a little dirty, like he hasn't used it since then. He just throws that on, comes back. All right, I'm ready.
When you come back downstairs, make a quick perception check for me, Dia.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Ooh.
The total 31.
So
Wow.
your room is rendered basically a disaster area by the ceiling collapse over it, but you can still get to the dresser that has your garment and whatnot and throw that on.
Cool.
There are birds now living in various corners of your room and whatnot, but you also see what appears to be a dead, partially eaten rat kind of lying on the floor by the dresser. And it's sort of bloated in a weird and strange way. And when you kind of take a gander at it, you think it was poisoned to death and then fed on.
We're all making the same face.
Yeah. And it strikes you that this kind of looks like the rat suffered a similar poisoning as Paulton did when he was attacked by imps.
And now we're infested.
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 I'm going to take the body of this rat, go back downstairs, and show it to Strix.
Okay.
Yeah, Strix is just standing there and she was like, "Oh, you look really nice." Ah!
Yeah, it's clear the rat was stung by some sort of poisonous stinger, died, and then was partially eaten. Probably by a creature who doesn't get affected by poison.
So I don't know why the imps must still be here listening to us is the problem.
Oh, of course they're still fucking listening.
Yeah, they're invisible.
Right. You're now that you've said it aloud, you're pretty darn sure the Castellanters are smart enough to keep tabs on anybody who might come looking for them.
I'm
So
so
good thing we just
dumb.
reviewed our whole plan out loud.
So dumb. I'm so
Man,
dumb.
well, it's a good thing that, trying to get the stone from them was totally a hypothetical, and we determined is not the best course of action. Isn't that right?
I do have protection against good and evil, so that might do something.
We definitely won't be looking for the stone.
I mean, we did say we were just going to fix our house.
We are going to fix our house and do nothing else. We have no further interest in the stone.
Paulton, even I don't believe you.
Can
It's-
I get a deception up in here?
Go ahead and make your deception check.
Oh, okay. That is a 30.
I mean, there's no one technically around, so who knows?
Just saying.
That's a good roll, though.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Let us leave.
Family bank trip, as we do every.
Can I do you think there's some way I can set up one of those like sticky fly tapes for imps though? Just hang it from the ceiling and they just stick to it?
They have imps.
Oh,
out there
can I do
somewhere?
an Arcana check to think if there's some way that I could that I could get them out of the house?
Go ahead.
Just to see if I know anything. 17.
Yeah, you think that there are methods, rituals that can be performed on structures to basically impart upon a structure a effect similar to that of protection from evil and good spell. That spell is low level and it only targets creatures, but there are more powerful versions of that kind of magic that can ward buildings and keep out fiends.
Oh, how much do you think that costs?
Ballpark figure, you think you could probably get the whole house protected that way for about 2,500 gold.
That's not bad.
You guys haven't let Evelyn know this yet, have you?
I think this is just an internal conversation Strix
Yeah.
is having.
Yeah. Strix is thinking the math is appearing.
Well,
Simple.
Does Evelyn know that there are imps in the house yet?
Yes,
Probably, yes.
we did loudly. Yes.
Because I can, I mean, I could, if you guys just want to know where they are, I mean, I could divine sense them.
You sure could.
Oh yeah, use your light senses.
You want to get like some bug zap hands ready or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you can sense them, they're still here. We need to get rid of them to stop them from either spying on us or possibly threatening the kids.
Yeah, I can do that.
The problem is they're just going to come back because there's no ceiling.
Well, I mean, I
Wow,
guess,
for once I'm not the one crying.
well, let's find these ones. Right?
So when
Yeah.
you activate your superpower, and you immediately sense that there is one within 3 feet of you, Evelyn.
Can I, like, as soon as I sense it, just, yeah!
You sure can. Make an attack roll. It's at disadvantage because it's still invisible, even though you can sense it.
Would it, for I guess that's a grapple?
Actually, yeah, you are. So roll your strength athletics at disadvantage.
At disadvantage? Oh, poopies.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Let's see.
This thing is pretty agile, but I don't know if it can.
13.
Oh my god, I rolled that 20. All right, you hear it flutter away as you reach out to grab it.
But I can still sense it, right?
Yeah, and it's getting farther away from you right now.
So I'm just like chasing it and pointing where it's going. Strix!
It's going up.
Strix!
It's going up the spiral staircase.
I'm trying to grab it. I'm like following it.
Okay.
I'm not.
Let me see how fast these
not a-
things are.
Now this is the.
And as
we're
you are
infused.
making grabby hands at it, and it's fluttering away from you, you still got your effect up, and you can sense that there are other imps in the building elsewhere. This thing can. What's your speed with the wings?
30.
Okay, it goes faster than you, so it is getting away from you.
No! I'm pointing at it.
And as you flutter upstairs, trying to reach out, it flies out through the broken window in the hallway and outside. And others are still in the house around.
All right, Evelyn motions to Strix and she's like, shh. And then she starts fluttering, like sneaky fluttering
They can see
toward
you.
the other nearest one.
I can try and dispel magic on their invisibility. Do you want me to try that?
I mean, if you want, I can tell where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get within range of a dispel magic, you can.
Oh, actually, if I know their location, couldn't I cast like a moonbeam on it?
Dispel magic, you have to kind of see what you're targeting, so that won't work.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not an area. But moonbeam, yeah, you can attempt to. What's the range of that spell? 120 feet. Yeah, you could essentially try to call down a moonbeam on top of one of them.
Or, I mean, I could use my axe bazooka, too. But yeah, I'll call down a moonbeam first.
Okay. Let's see. There is a Constitution saving throw.
And before I do, I tell Strix where I'm doing it so she can be ready for the flank.
Roll your radiant damage. 2d10.
Oh, I hit?
Yeah, it failed its save.
2d10. 13.
Okay, you completely bug zap it and you don't sense it anymore.
Woo, this is fun! Okay, another.
At this point, Evelyn, there's this big beam shining down through the wrecked remains of your home. You can sense the other ones are getting farther away fast, like they're
And there's
scattering.
no more in the house?
Eventually, you do seem to clear out the house. They go beyond the range of your detection ability.
She wiggles the moonbeam around like, y'all don't come back now.
I just love the idea of it just like hitting them like the bug zapper.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think they're gone? At least like mostly gone for now?
Yeah, you can't,
For now,
you
they're
can't
gone,
sense them
yes.
Mm-hmm.
in the establishment.
Well,
All right.
that should buy us a little bit of time. So we can take care of some other crap.
Yeah, they're not after us right now.
Fortify our stronghold.
Yeah.
And
Or if they come back, we
they
can just
don't know
burn the
what we're
house
doing technically.
down. We just
All right.
Get rid of the whole infestation. Got a demo to reno, and we build a new house from the ground up.
At this point, it might be easier.
Isn't it crazy? This place is still a rental.
I'm sure it's fine.
You're not getting that security deposit.
Okay, as you head out, there are people moving around in the city in this hour of the evening, most of them heading to and from places of business where they can buy meals and have good dinners. You get some friendly nods as you pass by, heading toward the bank. When you get to the bank, you see it's a very old mansion-like structure on a corner with a corner tower that has stone moss-covered steps leading up to a double set of oak doors with fancy knockers on them and what appears to be carved into the architrave a symbol that looks like a ship, a masted ship. And as you step inside, there is a cello playing. This old woman in a corner playing a somber tune. The room, or the entire interior of the house kind of has an old mansion-y feel. And you can smell that the rugs and carpets here are kind of very old and musty. There may even be mold growing somewhere. It's not the most pleasing odor, but there's also, it's intermingled with the smell of incense and scented candles, and there are oil lamps burning, and these lamps are mounted to the walls. There is all kinds of carved wood everywhere, wood paneling, wooden banisters that have gilded railings, and tables and padded chairs with a lot of, generally speaking, older people sitting in them, lounging, smoking, talking in low tones, almost like they're in a library, and pictures, paintings everywhere. And one of the interesting things you notice about many of these paintings is that they seem to be alive, as in moving. The scenes depicted in them are not frozen. As you make your way up a staircase onto a balcony, you see there's a huge gilded framed picture of a ship on a storm-tossed sea, and the whole ship is moving and the sea is moving. You can see lightning flashing behind it, the whole business. And it is at the end of this balcony that you can see a counter that serves as where the bank tellers are. And there are no tellers, but you can see what looks like a manager, a decrepit old man with big, thick spectacles, who's basically rifling through some papers and just sort of sorting things out at a bank teller station.
I mentioned before we left that since we've done this so many times, we probably had like a vague estimate of how much money we were going to need.
You probably had a conversation on the way. Yeah.
Yeah. What would that knowledge be? How much money do we think we need?
It depends on what you're planning to build. Or are you just basically trying to get the house back to its previous state?
Yeah, I think Evelyn was trying to convince everyone that they needed a sunroom, but got
Rex
overruled.
was definitely saying that there should be a mage tower at the top that looks kind of like the Blackstaff Tower.
Well, the Blackstaff Tower is basically just this blocky, thick stone, monstrous
And cooler
edifice.
than that.
Whereas you've got more of a Victorian turret on your current structure. To repair the building, you would estimate it would be about the same cost as it would to enspell it the way that Strix was thinking. So about another $2,500. That's replacing furnishings, that's replacing the walls, the roof, the turret, everything.
That's not that bad.
Sorry, what did you say it was?
About $2,500 for all of the repair work. Plus the $2,500 that Strix was thinking about for the magical ward.
And also maybe a taller, pointier tower that Strix can live in.
So
Look, if I don't get a sunroom, I don't understand why we need a mage tower.
One of the other details I neglected to mention earlier on about this bank is as you entered the structure, you see that your weapons become ghost-like. That is to say,
Ew.
they're still attached to you, but they're sort of shimmery and transparent. And when you reach for them, your hands just sort of pass right through them.
Oh, good. Okay.
My staff too.
That is a good question. Yes, your staff, you can, well, actually, that would be, yeah, your staff would essentially fall out of your hand
Ugh.
at that point.
Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm a rat. Doesn't matter.
Oh, right, never mind.
Ah,
Yeah. Anyway, but good to know. But I'm a rat.
Yes, you're a rat.
so if we wanted to just
I'm
repair
on
it,
Evelyn's like in armor pouch.
so if we wanted to just repair it and try to ensorcel it with a typical protection spell on the structure, that would cost about 5,000 gold pieces, and we're supposedly getting 50,000.
Yeah, I think that we should leave the rest in the bank because who knows what else might come our way.
Yep.
Huh. Well,
Do you want any like extra secret passages, Dia, for the house? Maybe like we can add some money for that.
oh no, I got plenty.
What?
Huh?
Well, I mean, Evelyn and Paulton really were the ones who arranged this deal to help earn the money. So
We definitely need to upgrade the bar.
I
It was pretty trashed.
I think it's only fair that you guys kind of get say in how it's used.
It was actually, I think, Strix's earth elemental that destroyed your bar.
Let's not worry about that.
All right, so who's going up to the old geezer at the counter?
I think Paulton should do it. I have all my weapons and he's all dressed up. He has dress pants on.
You pat up with your slippers.
Yep.
I'll go as backup because I put on a fancy shirt.
Right. All right. You two young gentlemen step up. You can see that he is so enwrapped with sorting through papers that he seems oblivious to you at first. And what do you do to get his attention?
What do we do?
Clear my throat loudly.
He doesn't seem to hear it.
Hey,
Is there like a ring bell for service?
Yeah.
Oh. Just
Ding, ding,
point to the
ding. He doesn't seem to hear that either.
can I like throw a piece of paper at him? Or like,
Yeah, you can take a slip of paper and toss it. He notices that, and he looks up at you. Hey. Hello. Are you here to open an account?
we are here. Wait, what are we doing?
But you have the voucher. We're trying to retrieve this
We have the voucher.
You have a letter.
We have a letter
letter.
to work as a voucher.
Oh, excellent. May I see it? Thank
Here you are.
He looks at it. Ah, yes. A young lady came by to set this up.
Mm.
Very efficient.
Hmm.
There's no money in it, I'm sorry.
Now, when you say no money, do you mean 50,000 gold?
The account is empty. No one's deposited anything in it yet. That is directly contrary to what Walnut told you.
Uh-huh.
Why did I think we would actually get this money? Yeah, why?
Hold on.
Why?
I'm sorry. There seems to be some confusion. The account is empty, and he's saying nothing has been put into it yet, as in it's never had money in it.
The account was opened, but there hasn't been any deposits into it yet.
Would you
Evelyn
be-
steps forward and she's like, "Does the letter say
And he's
We
just,
could withdraw-
he's just sort of reading your lips with his big magnifying glasses.
does?" And she's talking just as much to Dia and Paulton as she is to the guy. Does the letter say we have the right to withdraw this much money from the account? Does it never actually represent that there was that much money in the account?
The document says that basically it's giving you an account with 50,000 gold pieces in it.
Well, there must be some mistake because I can't imagine that Walnut or especially Omen
I
would.
can. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a good judge of character anyway, so I guess you're right. And Evelyn just steps back and watches.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, could you possibly inform us of when this account was opened?
Yeah, he will tell you that it was opened, let's see, this morning by a lovely, very polite elven woman, a Miss Donkgrass, I believe she called herself. And after setting up the account, said that there would be money deposited in the account forthwith.
We could send a letter through Strix's hat to Omen to ask what's going on.
Her tiny little rat hat.
You hear squeak.
Now,
Does anyone
Walnut
got-
told you when she gave you the piece of paper that the money was there.
Uh-huh. And
She would not have
You-
taken the cloak without.
Wait.
Okay, so we take this to
I'm a
Will,
rat.
and we say, "Hey, somebody messed up."
do we have a carbon copy?
I'm
Oh, no.
leaving. I'm turned back into myself.
You would have one copy of the contract.
I go. If I'm myself now, sorry, no, I stank up the club. But if the imps were listening, the Castellanters could have come here and taken our money out.
No, the money was never put in.
There's never any money to actually take.
Yeah, the account was open and there were no deposits, so they just didn't put the money in.
Which means this account was open and created specifically for this transaction, and Walnut was Walnut's not a liar, especially when it comes to official paperwork like that. She believed the money was in there, so I don't think she was lying to us or doing anything to swindle us into getting this cloak.
Do I trust the old man?
You can make an insight check.
I would love to.
Well, now that I'm me again, I'm gonna go look for snacks.
19.
There were some downstairs on the table. You smell them. You don't sense any duplicity from him. You think he is a functionary who is doing what he has probably been doing for the last 60 years.
Gotta give him up.
He just sort of looks at you with his thick glasses.
Strix,
like
before
a-
you go, can I just send a little note through your hat?
Yeah. Also, I guess I'm just holding my staff with a mage hand. I don't know if it's falling through my hands now.
Yeah, it probably would be. It would be lying on the floor, kind of ghostly.
Floating next to me.
Yeah. Now,
Can I
you
mage
think-
hand it?
Yeah, because your mage hand is made of force, you can actually use that to hold it. You think you could also probably turn it into something that is not
Okay.
overtly a weapon, and it would be fine.
Oh. Okay, well, if I turn it in my broom, then
Then it's just
that
it
should be
becomes a
fine.
solid
Is that a
broom.
weapon?
It's just the brooms are some of the deadliest weapons known to man.
I think that's an opinion.
Should I keep the account open?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please keep the account open. We seem to be a little confused about a couple of things.
He'll hand you your letter back, just so you have it.
Thank you. If you could just give us a moment, please. Does anyone have a copy of the sale contract that we made with Walnut on us?
Asterix?
I'll assume yes. Strix
Okay.
have it. Sorry, Holly, you're freezing up on me.
I know, I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah. So if we got that, I am going to quick take this contract and go through it specifically in the articles discussing the actual account,
Okay.
the money, the payment, how it's.
It is quite a detailed contract. You can probably find like a table downstairs, which you can just sort of, or a couch or something that you can sit on and flip through it.
Yeah.
Okay. And some people will come by, or maitre d' will come by and offer you a drink or bring some snacks.
Yeah. Diaz is going to read through this and definitely pretend like he knows exactly what he's looking for, what's going on there, but there's definitely going to be a lot of words in there that he does not understand.
This was clearly written by somebody well accustomed to legal lingo.
Yeah.
It seems very involved, airtight agreement.
Evelyn tries to borrow like a pen and paper, which I assume she can find at the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just write a quick note that's like, "Dear Omen, sorry to bug you about business when usually I write as a friend. Hope you don't mind. Just kind of a big deal because it's about our house. We have this contract that Walnut left with us, and I don't know how to get in touch with her, but it's our money's not here. I'm sure it's an oversight, but if you or Walnut could respond ASAP, that'd be great so that we can have a roof over our head. Thanks, Evelyn." I send it through the hat.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Also, I'll take my hat off
Yeah.
and just hold it out.
Stuff it in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Put the hat back on. Message sent.
First he kills Rosie Beestinger, then steals her money. Unbelievable.
Well, we'll see if we'll get a response anytime soon, knowing him, likely not. Now, to be fair to Walnut, I understand that they're going through quite a bit right now. From my understanding, their headquarters has gone through some pretty intense demo to reno procedures.
What's interesting, though, is that has nothing to do with us.
Look, I know, but
Look, I'm just saying, if I'm hired to do a job, I don't think the client cares about my personal life.
I know you're right, but Walnut's our friend, right?
I would put the friend in light quotes.
I mean, I would say yes, but
It's
Again.
associated.
apparently my perception of these things is skewed.
You're harping on that a lot. Is there something you want to talk about?
No, it's fine. Sorry.
She says the snap in her mouth.
Insight?
I don't think you need an insight on that one.
No, I ask Evelyn.
After about an hour of sitting and looking at this contract DF, you don't feel smarter, and all you're pretty sure of is there is the part, and actually Walnut was very good about kind of highlighting it or marking it, that actually covers the exchange. It's like, she will take the cloak back to Acquisitions Incorporated. When she takes custody of the cloak, the gold will already be in the account, ready to be withdrawn. You have the only letter of withdrawal, and that's it.
Okay, so we definitely are the only people able to withdraw from the account. Other people would be able to access it and deposit, but we should be the only people allowed to withdraw. Maybe, who knows? Maybe she's got caught up in something and had to go take care of it. Maybe we should check back tomorrow, or something. Delays happen all the time, right?
Was it her responsibility to make the deposit?
That is not in the contract. It was Acquisitions Incorporated's responsibility, according to the contract, to make the deposit.
So it was only up
Wait.
to us to get the signatures.
Yeah.
For-
Maybe someone was waylaid bringing the money or depositing it.
Right. There's a lot of possibilities here. Look, as much I hate to say it, when Acquisition Incorporated makes a contract, so long as everything is done properly, they adhere to it. So it's possible that maybe something happened to Walnut, or maybe someone else was coming by to make the deposit, and
So then let's just go over there
Wait,
and see
Strix
what's going on.
Strix looks at the old man and is like, "Did you say she was friendly?"
The old man says, "What?"
I get closer and I'm like, "Did you say she was friendly?"
He sort of withdraws when you get right in his face, And he says, "Yes, she was friendly.
As in, like, she was smiling?
Yes, she had a lovely smile."
Oh,
That doesn't sound like
It wasn't-
Walnut.
Oh,
Oh no.
that does not sound like Walnut.
Walnut's dead.
What?
Look, maybe she just really likes these kind of proceedings.
She does.
She did seem to take great pride in her work.
That sounds like Walnut to me.
Walnut might be dead.
I don't think so. Ugh, how about? Why don't we just go ask them directly? Maybe if they're there.
Yeah,
Or-
the Acquisitions Inc. headquarters is not terribly far from where you are. It's only
Yeah.
about
Why don't we just?
4 blocks.
Let's just start with that and see if they have any answers for any possible hang-ups. I feel like we're jumping to a lot of conclusions. This is probably really, really easy to clear up. Let's just go to
Omen
Act.
killed Walnut too.
This is so awkward because I already sent that message and now we're going to go in person. It's going to look so clingy.
I think I can unsend it. I like. pull
Oh my
hat
gosh,
off.
please. Click undo, quick.
I just reach my arm.
Yeah, you
from
reach
in.
deep in the hat, sort of rifle around, and you sort of grab onto a corner of it, and you pull it back out.
Yeah.
Unsend.
Oh my gosh,
see?
thank you.
See? Here you go.
Thanks.
I
She
give it back.
rips it up. She kind of fluffs her hair and she's like, okay, yeah, let's go to Acquisitions Incorporated.
All right, we'll go there. And Evelyn,
Find out who killed Walnut.
Sure. Let's just go. You guys were there before, so you probably had the best idea of what to do. So you guys, you go ahead. I'll.
Yeah, we'll talk to that nice clerk. Yeah, we lead the way.
Okay, you make your way, and the Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters seems to have suffered some serious damage, particularly the south side of the building. A lot of the facade appears to be missing. However, there is scaffolding all up on basically half of the structure. And there are some people working into the early hours of the evening to try to make repairs. And you can see some of those people are levitating wizards.
See, they can afford nicer guys than we can.
And you can also make out what appears to be a gnome, a female gnome, looking at some papers, talking to, or in the presence of, a well-dressed but clearly dead, or should I say undead, man, who's just sort of staring stupidly down at the same papers. And you also see what appears to be a donkey barking orders in common at a cloud of darkness that hangs in the air, except for the occasional, and it seems this darkness cloud almost seems to be stirred and misshapen by some wind that whistles around it. And there's occasional little spark of light, almost like lightning, that leaps from the darkness, and a hissing voice to accompany it. But all these figures are just sort of involved in the reconstruction. Sitting outside the building with a box next to him, hands over his head, knees up to his chest, is a crying figure. You don't know this person, but they are out on the street with a box of what looks like desk supplies, crying in the street. The doors, of course, at this hour are closed, but there are a couple lights deep within the structure to indicate that there's probably cleaning staff or something working inside.
Evelyn will go up to the crying person and pat them on the back and say, there. Are you all right?
Victim of a tightened belt.
A Titan belt? Was it magical?
What?
Did it squeeze you too hard?
No, I lost my job.
Why?
Tighten belts.
Well, that doesn't sound like something someone should lose a job over. And Evelyn picks him up and she's
Love
like,
my
we'll go
job.
talk to Omen right now.
Oh, no, I don't want to disturb Omen. No, No, I don't want to. I don't want to disturb Mr. Drawn. No, it's
Sure,
fine.
you wouldn't
It's
want
fine.
anyone to feel this sad.
No, please. No, everything. No.
Well, okay. I
You see
mean,
real terror in his eyes.
I know she's shocked. She's like, oh, okay. Why don't you want to talk to Omen?
Because he doesn't need my services anymore.
Well, what kind of services are those?
I was a clerk. I handled paperwork and filing. I think they let 10 of us go.
Oh.
We had 10 clerks?
This is like the third purge this year.
Oh. Do you think they're running out of money?
I had good reviews.
I believe you. You seem like a very capable person, even though you're crying out here in the street.
I don't know how I'm going to make my next rent payment.
Well, that's why I said you should talk to Omen.
I can't do that.
I mean, maybe not with that attitude, but I think you should go talk to your former boss and get your job back.
You don't understand. You don't talk to Mr. Drawn.
I do.
We have.
He sort of looks
I
amazed.
insulted him.
I saved his life once.
Okay, but I've never saved his life that I know of.
Well, let's
Maybe one of those papers you signed was the difference between life and death for Omen Drawn.
Well,
You never
I don't have authority to sign papers.
or prepared or whatever, copied, whatever it is you do. Everyone's job is important.
Apparently not mine.
Wow. So after killing Rosie B. Stinger and stealing her 50,000 gold, now he's laying off people who were relying on him for income? Unacceptable.
Well, as you can see, they did take a lot of damage.
Unacceptable.
So what you're saying is, it's not that you were poor at your job. You were just let go because they had to tighten their belt.
That's what I was told.
And this is the verb tighten the belt, and not an object or, say, gang name called a titan.
Well, there is an
belt.
actual belt.
Like around the company? Do explain.
He says, it's... well, one time, one of my fellow clerks misfiled something, and, well, he got chastised, and then he got berated, and then he got demoted, and then he got a pay cut, and then he got flogged.
I'm gonna kneel down to the guy and just be like, "What's
With
your
a
name,
belt.
buddy? With a belt. What's your name, sir?"
He says, his name is Corald.
Like, all right, Mr. Corald, I'm gonna reach into my robe. I take out a little business card. It's like, well, my name is Paul Seppa of Seppa and Seppa, and I think you might have a case here. So go ahead and take that.
He takes
Oh my
it.
God.
I can't afford to pay anything.
I'm commission based. We win, then I just take a percentage. We lose, it's gonna be fine.
You want me?
Trust me.
Wait, you want me to take legal action against Acquisitions Incorporated?
I think we have a great case here. You see all this damage to the thing? That to me screams insurance fraud.
You sound like a lawyer for sure.
It is my job.
Can I perception check or just see if there's anyone I recognize here? Like maybe if there's someone I've seen before?
Go ahead.
15.
No, you don't recognize. In fact, you think that most of the workers that seem to be working into the night, probably on overtime, are probably city guilds folk. They're from guilds because repairs actually have to
Okay.
be handled through the mechanisms of the city. Now, the individuals
Okay.
who are the weird ones that I described, the talking donkey, they don't seem to be dressed the same way as the workers. And actually, you see that the donkey and the dead guy and the gnome all have Acquisitions Inc. tabards with a symbol on it that kind of looks a little bit like a hexagon with a dot in the middle of it and then a tail on the hexagon, kind of in the shape of a P, like the letter P.
Oh, I just realized that maybe,
P.
huh? What was that, Strix?
Oh, I said, are they rebranding?
It looks like they're wearing some sort of weird modified version of the AC Inc. logo.
Excuse me, crying sir. What was your name?
Coral?
Coral. I have two questions. One is, do you know what that logo means that they're wearing?
He looks over through blurry eyes, his red eyes, and he says, "Oh, that's the P team."
Oh, what does P stand for?
Nothing.
Oh. Okay. My second question is, if you happen to have been a clerk for Acquisitions Incorporated, did you happen to see any documentation come across around the sale of a magical cloak and $50,000?
What's a dollar?
I meant gold. Sometimes
says,
I have these weird words.
I'm
thrown
glad
about
you asked that,
dolphin
Anna,
topping.
because he says he was aware paperwork was started on a contract, a 50,000 gold piece contract for a robe, and Flabbergast, a wizard, a high-level wizard within the company, was basically taking point on that deal, was getting that paperwork done. But he says the paperwork was not finished.
Oh, well, that's so weird
Because
because
there was an incident,
what kind of incident?
a magical catastrophe inside the building that did a tremendous amount of damage.
Well, I guess then if
And
we needed,
he says he doesn't remember all the details because afterward, he and several other employees were taken to Flabbergast to have their memories magically altered.
what? Is that part of your contract?
Yeah, as I found out.
Oh,
Oh my god. Okay. And if we wanted to find this Flabbergast, where would we look for him?
Wizards, they're a strange bunch. He likes to work odd hours. He's probably still inside, helping to sort out the damage.
Uh-huh.
And he has some clerks helping him catalog for insurance purposes anything that was lost.
Listen, Coral, I believe that you are good at your job. No, I know.
I'm so good at my job.
I know you're good at your job. You always got good reviews. You even said so yourself. In fact, I want you to, we can prove it right now. Not to me. You don't
I
have
got
to
a
prove it to-
B.
You don't have to prove it to anyone else. You're only going to prove it to yourself to show just how good you are at your job. I need you to look at this contract.
You hand them this thing.
Yeah, it's like-
Okay. He takes a look at it and he seems to recognize its presentation and he says, "Well, this isn't right. This contract was never written. I mean, it was never finished. This contract is finished. Who finished this? Oh," and he looks at the end. Huh. Well, level
What
3
is-
Documancer.
huh? Who? What?
What is huh? What does this mean? What is this?
Well, he says, this seems like a real contract. It looks like other contracts that we've put through our system, and it's authorized by a level 3 Documancer, so that's good.
Walnut,
You can
right?
trust it. Yes.
Uh-huh. Is there a but coming? Is there something wrong?
Not as far as I can tell.
So then, with all this information here, could you possibly think of any legal loophole or written word or for some reason that money would not be in that account as promised, ready for withdrawal?
Was the robe received? Is
Yes.
that what it is, right? A robe?
Yeah.
Then the money should be there. Contractually.
And if it's not, what does that mean?
I think that means we have a case.
Well, that means that the exchange is improper. It's invalid. That the robe must be returned or the money delivered promptly.
And if
Fines could be applied. This could be taken to a magistrate.
Oh. Well, we definitely don't need to do that. I'm sure it was a mistake. I'm sure we'll just get our money as soon as we can talk to Omen.
hold on now, like if it's part of the contract that's the means that needs to be taken to, then it might be worth looking into if we don't get an answer.
You could sue us. I mean, them.
Yes,
not us.
as could you. The logo comes up.
I don't think we're advanced enough for that.
You know what? We should give this lovely person a job. He's been so helpful so far. He should come work for us. Do the books at the pie stand.
That would be awesome to do. Once we say get 50,000 gold pieces. That certainly is a possibility. Hey, Coral, was there anything in there about the retrieval of the robe? Does it say it has to be returned to a certain person or certain place before the money is deposited, or just
once it's taken into custody by Acquisitions Incorporated, the money has to be already in the account.
It sounds like we've pretty much confirmed over and over that the contract
Is
that we
solid.
understood it correctly.
Coral thinks it's solid.
Mm-hmm.
And if the robe was turned over, then you should have your money.
Why
So
the
we
hell
need-
wouldn't it be there?
Or else Acquisitions Inc. would be basically in default of the contract, which is pretty serious.
I don't like this, and I just want to blow things up.
Well, if we blow more things up, then we probably won't get our money. We should just
I
go
know.
talk to accounts payable or whoever that is.
Or possibly Flabbergasted, as he was the one who supposedly set this whole thing up. There's a lot of things not adding up
We
here.
should talk to Flabbergast inside, right? That's what you said. Is
Yeah,
inside.
let's contract this lovely person to be our representative, and he can help us navigate all of Hacking while we do it.
All I'm saying is that a crossover episode where one party is suing another sounds hilarious.
All right.
End state.
Since you have taken great care to be so kind and friendly to him, and Evelyn, you see that he can't take his eyes off you. He's just sort of swimming in your beauty and your majesty and the air that you.
I've also been patting his back and rubbing his shoulder
Yeah.
and reassuring him a lot.
So he has taken a shine to you. This has not gone unnoticed by certain other members of the party. But he will lead you up and inside, and you can see that the damage to the interior is even more extreme than the damage to the exterior of the building, though some offices remain intact. But it isn't long before Corald is able to take you to Flabbergast, who is basically managing a series of checklists with various clerks. When Flabbergast looks down his nose at Corald, he says, "Didn't we fire you?"
Which I'm sure was a big mistake.
He flips through some papers and says, "No, not mistake." At this point, you can see that Flabbergast's cat is sort of coiling around his ankles, and this cat wears a Viking helmet and a monocle.
Strix is gonna sidle up next to Evil and be like, "Can you tell if that cat is a demon or not, or a devil or something? It looks super suspicious."
It just sort of eyes you with its monocle.
I'm getting weird vibes.
And he says,
Oh, this
"So
doesn't know."
why have you graced us with your presence?"
What did you have?
Paulton
Paulton
has a notepad and pen. Is just taking notes of everything. He's just looking at stuff. He's like, okay, the damage up there. He sees the cat. He's like, potential animal cruelty.
We're here because we have a contract that seems to have gone unfulfilled, and we've retained the services of this amazing clerk, who luckily happened to be free, just to help us navigate this process. We have the contract right here. Diaz, do you want to show him the contract?
I don't think we need to physically hand it to him at all, but It clearly has stated, as Coral can tell you, that there's supposed to be an account with 50,000 gold pieces upon
Flabbergast
relinquishing.
tries to snatch it from you. You let him?
I think he said he wasn't going to give it to him, so
Yeah,
I
I'll
was,
probably
I was
try to,
thinking
like-
he was holding it
Okay,
like this.
so he'll
Eh.
just go ahead and make a dexterity check, opposed by his strength
It's
check.
like, yeah.
You probably got him on. Oh, he rolled a nat 20. Shit.
What?
Oh. Just adding dexterity bonus.
Yes.
24.
You still, even with his nat 20, are able to keep. He gets it, and then you pull it out through his fingers.
I rolled a 19 plus 5. So
Nice.
Don't try to outrogue a rogue.
Well, yeah, apparently.
it's like, no. Hold on. I don't trust you holding this. You could speak to our representative.
He
He
says,
was like, that was quite rude.
he says
Attempt
this,
to
this cannot
destroy
be
contract."
right. As we negotiated earlier, that I would gladly have set you up with a contract, but as you can see, we have other problems here.
Well, I don't know if you're aware that,
The contract
One
was
of-
never written.
well, you can see here that a level 3 documancer, and she looks at Coral like for approval.
You sort of flip to the page with the walnut signature. You see he pulls out his own monocle, puts it in his eye, and stares at it. And then he goes pale and faints.
What? What? Are you okay?
Did we do it? Did it work?
I think that's a good sign.
The cat just sort of is now on him, licking his nose.
Evelyn will boop on hands, like poke him.
He comes to and stares up at you. Oh, my lord.
You
This
seem
is
to
all-
have fainted when I showed you that Walnut Donkgrass, a level 3 documancer, did prepare and sign this document saying you owe us $50,000.
On this piece
Gold
of
pieces.
paper,
Yeah.
mind you.
Gold
There it
pieces.
is.
Gold
Don't.
pieces.
He sort of
Dalton's
looks at it
correcting
again
you.
and almost faints again, but keeps himself together and says, "No, this can't be. I'm going to lose my job."
Why would you lose your job for something that was perfectly above board?
You were the one that did this. Don't you remember?
Yes, I know, but I never got around to actually getting the contract out, is what I'm trying to tell you. I have to confess something. In the
Oh,
chaos.
what?
Oh, you,
We
go
lost-
ahead. In the light
For
of
all intents
Lathander,
and
I will hear
purposes.
your confession.
On all intents and purposes, this is on record.
We lost a clone.
I'm sorry.
You lost a clone?
I'm sorry.
You is a what now?
One of our clones escaped during the magical calamity.
Clones of who?
Well, you didn't hear it from me, but we have begun cloning some of our key employees.
Cloning key employee.
You did what?
Please tell me that I'm not considered a key employee.
Who are you?
Oh, thank God. Saved. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
Um,
the walnut
So-
clone escaped.
so you're saying that the person who prepared this document for us was a clone?
Of a level 3 documancer.
Why would the clone do that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why the clone would do that. All I'm
sure
telling
that-
you is that
I'm sure it was the real walnut and not the clone. I'm sure you're just worried about nothing. The real walnut's probably off frolicking somewhere. I mean, the clone walnut.
I don't think I could ever see Walnut frolicking, but
That's why the clone would do it.
I am.
yeah, Flabbergast,
worried.
Flabbergast will say there was a magical event here, and in the cloning lab, one of the clones broke loose and got away. They only realized it after they went down and realized it was missing, and it wasn't supposed to get out.
Well,
if we could offer you protection and job security or financial security,
I'm
would
going
you
to
be
get
willing
fired.
to say that in court?
Are you mad? No.
well, shouldn't you be happy that whoever this is just did your job for you and finished the contract?
Where's the robe? Where's Jim's robe? What has
Oh.
become of Jim's robe?
Oh, now I see the significance in this. That's not good.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a big.
Well, the clone has it.
Oh,
Well, according to this contract, you still owe us 50,000.
That's true. It's not
As
our
it
fault
was-
you made
yes.
clones.
It was as it was
I
signed
don't
by
have.
one.
I don't have that money on me. As I said during our negotiation, I can cover half of it, but the other half, was going to be negotiated with Omen.
Well, we have. I mean, if
I'm
there's
going
one
to get
thing-
skinned alive.
Well, if there's-
Whoa, like no one should be skinning anyone alive. I'm not sure what's going on here, but last time I
I'll
was
be banished to the far realm or something, some worse
God,
fate.
What are the
This is the end
punishments
of
here?
Flabbergast.
It's
is Omen
Come,
here?
Mr. Snibley, we must leave at once.
You're being a bit dramatic.
You see he gets very dramatic and throws his papers up in the air, pushing his way through the clerks to get to his office, and starts packing things in a valise, including his spell book, which he stuffs in first.
I ask Carl, is Omen here? Does he have an office here?
Does he have a clone?
Coral doesn't know if Omen's here. He does have an office here. The office was partly damaged. Chances are, though, Omen clocks out at 5. That's,
Right, executive.
leaves after doing all the flogging, I guess.
Also, you do know he does tell you that in the magical event, Omen was actually wounded and taken to the Tower of Luck to convalesce for a while, but he checked himself out once he was healed up and returned to assess the damage. But then, after firing a bunch of people, left and said that was a good day's work, and that's the last they saw him.
Well, Evelyn says to the rest of the group, she's like, if I know one thing about Omen, it's that he always honors contracts. So
And
we're fine.
technically, we honored the contract. We gave an employee of Acquisitions Incorporated. We doesn't matter if they're a clone.
Clone or not?
It's not our fault that they cloned.
Mm-hmm. And these clones are definitely a part of their.
No, you don't understand. As soon as the clone forged those documents, that is termination grounds.
For you?
No, for her.
That
Oh,
if this was the fake Walnut Dawngrass, the moment she forged a contract, she was no longer an employee of AI.
That is
and
correct.
She just walked away.
Now we're
Is it
out.
forging-
Jim's robe. I'm a dead man, for sure.
Yes, you are.
Ah!
So dramatic.
He grabs his valise, he grabs Mr. Snibley under his arm, and he starts to fly away
whoa!
through the hole
But-
in the roof.
Is it real? Is it forging a contract?
I mean, it doesn't sound like forging to me.
I don't think so.
Wait, don't let him fly away. We can take half or something. Like, at least that's more money than we have.
Right, that was promised. So can we at least get that before you're skinned alive?
No,
Please? Please?
I didn't
So
get
now
the
you're not
robe.
honoring the contract.
No robe, no money.
No, the robe was given to a member of Acquisitions Incorporated.
No, it was not.
You
Technically,
can't just say no. Oh, guys, he said no. It's okay. It's okay. No,
An
it
ex-employee.
absolutely was.
ex-employee.
Guys, I think he's right on this one.
Oh, fine. Let's just go home then. And she just, like, sits on the ground.
I don't think Omen will let this happen. I think we need to talk to Omen.
Oh, I think Omen would let this happen, but I think what is something that I'm worried about is, does Walnut know? Does Cathris? Does Dinar? Like,
Yeah, they probably all have clones.
well, maybe not Dinar.
They did say most valuable employee.
Burn.
Well, no, they probably don't know. And just for the record, I believe that Omen is up to, as they would say, shady shit.
Okay, so then we get the robe back.
Oh yeah, you can locate it, can't you?
If we find the robe back and just return it to Acquisitions ourselves, that would fulfill the contract.
Yes.
But this is I think we should just write a letter to Omen real quick. Just let him know what's happening.
We just, no more letters. And I pull my hat down.
Tight.
No more. Stop putting foreign objects into my hat. We're going to find...
Let's find the robe before we start talking more about this.
Yeah, I agree with Paulton on this one. And I know it seems like a good idea to talk to Omen, but one of the most valuable things that he has is information. And if we had this information about the clones, the last thing we want to do is tip that hand to him. That could upset him or seek retribution or something that way, or try to cover up this heinous act, really. If we're able to clone the cloak ourselves and get it back, then we can get our money.
Well, we know where the Drawn and Courtier is, right?
Yeah, it's all the way up in Red Larch.
Well, try and locate the cloak first, Paulton. Maybe Walnut is around here.
Oh no!
Walnut.
Nice. Chris starts writing.
Done.
I don't think I have a way to. I don't have a way to find it.
You have locate object.
It's only got a range of 1,000 feet or so.
I have locate creature.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I have locate object. My bad.
We all. Who cares?
But
Stretch is
yeah,
still on the
I mean,
ground.
It is possibly quite farther away than that.
Corald is now consoling you, Strix. He's putting a
Oh,
hand on your shoulder.
someone's paying attention to me.
Yep.
Well, other than locate object, which I don't think we'll be able to use to find this since it's probably farther away than that. The only thing I can think of is to go to Red Larch and talk to the real Walnut.
We don't have time to go to Red Larch.
No, and I don't think Walnut has anywhere to go. And guessing what they're doing is they could be here or somewhere in the city. They're probably not far.
I think we could poke around here and find more information
Walnut loves
on
cities.
said clones and see what people know.
Yeah, where's this laboratory of clones? Can we go see that?
Corald doesn't. He didn't know anything about it.
You said something about the basement, right?
Unclear.
Let's go look.
Okay.
Evelyn just starts traipsing around headquarters.
Same.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they're just going to let us. Oh, okay.
Well, the person in charge just flew out the window.
Right. Yeah. So at some point,
Oh, can we loot his office?
who Omens?
Oh hell
Well, we're not stealing from Acquisitions Incorporated.
yeah! I mean,
We're not stealing. They owe us 50,000
You
gold.
said loot.
So you're going to take 50,000 gold pieces worth of staples? Like what?
We're going to borrow some things to help us.
as collateral.
Yeah. That would
We have your staples. Give us our gold.
As
No
you're
one's stealing anything.
as you're prowling around, basically stomping around without security passes, figures begin to converge on your location, and they include a cloud of darkness and whirling wind that has occasional little shots of lightning coming out of it, a donkey, and you can see up close that this donkey wears hoof wraps.
Cool.
Cool.
The zombie, who is pulling out a lute, and the gnome, who has put away her papers, popped up her goggles and is stroking a clockwork rat.
I
And
want it.
She says as she strokes the rat, "Thou shalt not wander the halls of Acquisitions Incorporated. You must leave now."
We have a contract saying your company is in debt to us, and we have full right to acquire anything up to or close to the value of 50,000 gold, and all we are asking is to look around.
She says, "I wish to give that contract to our documancer for inspection."
We will
Well-
accompany you and show ourselves.
And she says, "Rebecca!" And a kenku sort of comes out of a pile of debris, pokes its head up, and shambles toward you. And
Rebecca,
and-
it's a kenku.
Rebecca the kenku is wearing a suit of trash armor
Aww.
and just sort of shambles over and reaches for the contract to inspect it closely. And holds out and just puts on her beak a bent pair of spectacles that she clearly got out of the trash somewhere. It's missing.
No.
I love her.
Give it to her. She's so cute.
I was holding it before. Yeah, I'll let the Kenku look
All
at
right.
the contract.
This contract, she sort of says, "Nope," and the gnome says, This contract does not allow you to do what you says it allows you to do. It does not grant you any license to wander these halls or any security clearance whatsoever.
Well, it does mean that you owe us $50,000 and y'all are in default of that. So do you have that 50? Paul! Dang it, Paulton!
What?
Teaching me all these words that I don't know what they mean. They just fall out my mouth.
It's like, listen. Who's the highest up right now in here? I would like to speak to them immediately.
That would be me, says the cloud of darkness.
I've seen weirder. Sure. Can we chat, please? Please, just in private.
I am Zephyria, moon elf warlock of the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Okay. And
If you
What
don't
is your
leave at once, we will destroy you.
okay, well, first of all, that will be noted and potentially used in the case. Second of all, I'm just saying, we have a contract here that is signed by a third level documancer. Now, either you are hold, listen. Either you are not going to honor a contract, or you are going to
We are
acknowledge that something-
closed until further notice.
You are going to acknowledge that this is a forged signature from a clone that you probably don't want
You
getting
are
out.
now in violation.
You're in violation.
Ah,
Guys, I'm starting to think we're getting a little in over our heads here and we're running in circles.
You can see that the zombie bard starts to play a tune, and it's just like
I don't wanna
off
fight these
chords.
people.
Blang, blang. And
Okay, fine. We'll just leave and talk to Omen himself, my pen pal and personal friend.
the donkey sort of gets up on its hind hooves and makes fists with its front hooves.
I hate this.
Adorable.
I hate this, but I want the clockwork rat. I hate it.
Come on, we're leaving.
Leave or suffer the wrath of the
I-
P
We're
team.
leaving.
Wait, they're the P team. Did you just hear that? They're the P team. The P. Who are you? P team? Is this what's? Why
The
do we-
female rock gnome petting the clockwork rat says, "My name is Biggie Plots. This is Rebecca. Our bard is Van Lancer Eagle Talon the Seventh.
For that.
The donkey is named Skylar. And that's Zephyria."
I feel like in other circumstances, we would totes all be friends and have like game nights and things. Like you guys could come over to our house once we rebuild it, once we get this 50,000 gold you owe us, and we could all hang out. And I feel like we'd all get along so well.
Evelyn, can you like check if they're evil?
And the donkey says, making fists, "That ain't gonna happen tonight."
Wait, why is the donkey talking?
I'm not familiar with the P team of Acquisitions Incorporated. What is it? What is the P team in charge of? And
Is it like alphabetical? Like is the C team
Keeping
like
the
the third
peace.
best?
what'd you say? I missed it.
Keeping the peace.
Keeping the
Keeping
peace.
Peace team. Got it. Okay.
I wanna like speak, like whisper to the spooky cloud person.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, congratulations, you passed the test. Omen sends his regards. We were checking to make sure that you've been keeping up with your duties. Can I roll deception?
Yes, please.
Please, he says.
Okay. That is a 29.
She says, "You're out of uniform."
Well, how do you would have known off the bat?
I see. Yes, very well then. There is nothing happening here. All operations have been moved to other locations due to the security breach. All sensitive areas have been dismantled.
Ah, yes, and probably
Classified files have been delivered elsewhere.
to that one location that I would assume they would be at. Can you confirm?
I do not have sufficient rank for that information.
Ah, good. Good.
Very well. Carry on. You've done well today. Good word will come back to Omen about you.
Yes.
You see the
We sh-
donkey is looking very suspicious at all this.
We should vacate the premises.
But the female rock gnome seems satisfied, and you can't really see what the Kenku is thinking.
Just give a, well, very well, P team.
Kenku
It
picks up like,
seems that we are no match for you. We will be on our way.
and the zombie just sort of gives an off-key strum.
You, tune that thing immediately.
It is it's dreadfully out of tune. And he just gives it a little plink at you like he doesn't care.
Fair enough.
And you can tell that like one of his ears is just sort of half hanging off. It's kind of been stitched on multiple times. The other one's all sort of caved in. So if you can even hear what he's playing, you're not even sure. And he smells
Art-
really bad.
Art is subjective, so it is not formulaic. So as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned, that was beautiful.
There's a lot going on here. I don't think we're going to get our money or the robe back.
No, I don't think we are. It's getting late. Let's reconvene back at the house and discuss this further.
Zephyria says, Corald, you had no business bringing them here. You had no business being on this premises. We are well within our right to destroy you, but we will let you live this
No,
once.
He's with us. It's fine.
Yeah, we hired him. He's our clerk now.
Yeah.
Your loss.
But also, like, do you just kill people here? Like, I feel like that's a bit harsh, right?
Biggie Plots, the gnome, says, we have been tasked with providing security during the repairs.
But
Were we
you
not
can't
to
just-
follow in our function and do what we have been told, we would almost certainly be disciplined.
Who is going to discipline you?
Lord Dron.
Yes, we know that.
Lord
Work for
Dron
him as well.
Has he lost his marbles?
And now, colleague, the facade is over. We know everything that's going on, and they are in on this too. So there's no need for such a ruse. Strix. I will take your silence as agreement. Very well.
All right, you get outside. And you can see that the P team is sort of watching you through windows.
Yeah, let's start making our way back to the house. I think, guys. I don't see us getting a whole lot of solutions tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is also much worse than we realize.
You can make insight checks, having sort of collected yourselves outside, just to see if you gleaned any sort of unspoken truths about what you've just seen.
Yeah, there's a lot of nonsense going on in there.
Yeah.
I would also like to do that.
Okay.
A donkey was talking to me, and I'm just having
It's true.
I'm having a rough time processing that.
I got 20.
Wow, that's good.
My dice are killing it tonight. I got 18.
Okay.
I got 11.
Okay.
10.
You were fascinated by all the trash and the trash armor, and of course the talking donkey and the clockwork
was.
rat and all these other distractions. You weren't really paying much attention to anything beyond the rat and the trash and the donkey.
It's I didn't even need to roll.
But everything else, you get the sense that Zephyria, underneath that dark cloud, probably was what she said she was, an elf, just masked in her behind the cloak of the Queen of Air and Darkness, whatever the hell that is. But you get the sense that what she told you about the security breach was probably accurate, that as soon as the defenses went down on this place, Omen had everything rerouted, taken offline, moved elsewhere, shut down, so that should any of the city watch stick their noses into his business, they wouldn't find anything incriminating. The Lord remark may have been some sort of slip of the tongue indicating some level of power that has not been conveyed to you so far about what Omen's ability is or reach within the city. Their terror of him is absolutely genuine. He is Darth Vader-esque in terms of the fear that he's conjured in his employees, and they'll count their lucky stars if they still have jobs tomorrow. Beyond that, you don't get the impression that any of the P team really knew anything about clones or nothing like that. These guys literally probably were just told, keep an eye on the structure, keep strangers out, and mind your P's and Q's.
I don't know why all these people are so afraid of Omen. He seems nice enough to me. He's always been very kind to me.
Well, a lot of times the kindest people are the ones who wield their power the most ferociously. I know we've been looking forward to this money so we could finally repair the house and do all these things, but I think it's just...
You also gave Walnut that extra cash, BF.
Thank you, Chris. I know. I think there's a bigger problem here. If there's a fake walnut going around, and I guess normally I'd say that's really not our problem, but
Now, DF,
You
you've
know.
met Walnut
yeah,
and dealt with her more than once. And
Yeah.
your feeling is she would not be happy to know that she's been cloned, if she knew at all.
right. So I don't know if Walnut even knows about this. And if there is this fake walnut going around, who knows what she's doing? And again, normally it's probably not our problem, but
With your insight checks, you would also get the sense that if the clone of Walnut, if Walnut is basically Walnut, it wouldn't be happy about being maybe being a clone either. It would have the same emotional reaction that Walnut would.
right.
We should find the Walnut clone. We should find Walnut.
Yeah, she is our friend, and
Well, you
I
know,
think
yeah, in
we-
a way,
I-
I guess.
at least I think she's our friend. I don't know.
As far as she knows, she's our friend.
And I think, plus, we just gave this fake Walnut an incredibly powerful robe, and I think the moment that happens, it tangentially kind of became one of our problems.
Yeah, it might put her in danger too, not knowing who she is or what she has.
It could put a lot of people in danger.
Well, let's try to find her. Let's go ask around where we saw her last.
Well,
Or if you were Walnut, where would you go?
Brahma's house.
Well, I was thinking like the forest. There's got to be like a park or something in the city.
That's true.
There is the city cemetery, which is, it's also the city's park. It is closed at night. There is a park in the Sea Ward at the north end of the city that's smaller, more like just a walking park with a grove in it.
I don't think she'd go to the cemetery. I think she'd go to the grove.
But she definitely wouldn't go anywhere that was closed. She likes rules.
Yeah.
I think she has some agenda that's beyond anything that we could really know right now. If she had the knowledge of this deal, she came to us directly to obtain this cloak so that she could have it for her own purposes, either to wield it or to sell it herself. So I
Don't you think she thinks she's Walnut just doing her job?
I don't know. I don't know how this works. Strix, what kind of alchemy would even be required, and how? I don't even know how any of this stuff works.
I've been thinking about that this whole time. And I'm going to Arcana check that.
Okay.
Ooh, that's actually really good. 26.
And what is it? What's the question that you want answered?
How would they have even cloned Walnut?
Well, your roll is high enough to know that there is high-level magic, a clone spell. It is at least an 8th, possibly 9th level spell.
All right.
So on the order of like a wish or something of that.
Right.
You've also heard that clones can be temperamental, particularly when they are created or in the presence of their identical opposite. A clone
All right.
cannot abide its normally a clone cannot abide whatever it is copying.
I guess the only other instance where that's not true that we've seen has been Manchun, right?
Well, Manchun had a simulacrum, essentially
Right.
a illusory
Yeah.
copy of himself made of slush and snow. A clone is identical to the creature that it duplicates in every way,
All right.
Okay.
So
with the knowledge, but it doesn't gain knowledge the same. Once after it's created, it becomes its own entity and learns separately.
But would we know that she would think that she was the real Walnut?
A clone would instinctively be aware if there was another walnut there, so it probably knows it's a clone.
all right. So walnut knows walnut is not walnut.
Now, Walnut, the real Walnut, wouldn't know that the clone has been created, but if she were to come across it, obviously, that would change things.
Right.
Or if some knowledge of that were suddenly made known to her in some other game, say.
Well, I think we should definitely try to get word to Walnut.
I agree. I don't know how much we'll be able to really do ourselves right now because we have our own things that we gotta take care of, and we're running out of time.
We should ask the C team to come help us.
Going to write up
No
another
one
letter?
comes and helps us.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Trix, can I please send a letter?
Okay, fine.
Does this only go to Omen, or could I send it like to someone else?
I mean,
I think it probably has some limits on it, but it basically works like a sending spell. So if Strix knows the name of the individual, I guess you can just send it directly to Walnut if you wanted to.
I feel like, especially if they're
Yeah.
an employee of Acquisitions Incorporated, it seems like
Yeah.
that would make sense.
So write up a letter and stuff it in here, and we'll send it to Walnut.
Okay.
Real Walnut. Make sure to NUT, not NOT.
No. Okay, hold on. I'm going to write this down. Dear Walnut, our real friend.
That will raise an eyebrow.
We are concerned that we. Do I just come right out and say it?
Yes.
That we met your clone and you might not know she exists. Also, she completed a contract on behalf of AC Inc. and took our magical cloak. So now AC Inc. owes us 50,000 gold and we don't have it, and our house is still broken and our kids have no roof over there.
You're going to tell her only the first 25 words will probably get through.
was that one sentence?
Yes.
Really quick.
So far 2 sentences.
Just quick word of concern. If
Quick word of concern.
no, don't write this down.
Oh, okay.
If a clone is identical in any way, how do we know this will go to the real Walnut and not the clone?
I mean, I think the sending spell works to send to the individual, right?
Yeah, but how
No,
do we-
because the clone's name is Walnut.
okay, not like just because you call someone something doesn't mean
It's
they're their name.
intent. It's the intent. Also, here, DF, you are going to be the one to put it into the hat.
So it says you can
Because
send
you-
it to you can send it to a creature with which you are familiar. So you can choose to send it to the walnut that you think is the real walnut.
Yes, DF, you do it. You know Walnut the best. You've spent the most time with Walnut. So if you put the letter in the hat, it should go to the right Walnut.
Okay. I'm gonna
All right.
concentrate real hard on.
Okay.
Am I done? I didn't write
That's
it.
good.
No, let me write it. Okay. We
Love
we
love
love
the Waffle
you
Crew.
tons. And we are generally
sorry about all this. Yikes. Love the waffle crew. Was that good? Oh, wait, please write back. P.S. Please write back or come help soon. Okay, bye.
You take
Is
it,
that good?
you shove it in the hat, and it disappears.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's the best we can do on that for now. But if you happen to see a walnut walking around with a robe
Right.
or a
It's
lot
gone.
of money or looking very expensive, wearing a lot of expensive stuff, we need to intercept her and find out what's going on. But we also can't forget about all the other things I listed off earlier today. Those also seem like important things that we need to take care of.
And just to be clear, suing Ack Inc. is still somewhat on the table.
I think that's a great idea.
You know, it's
I just think we have such a good case.
You're not a lawyer.
it just seems like some pretty big fish.
Excuse me?
And that's where we'll stop.
Oh boy.
All right. Thank you, one and all, for
Oh, no.
watching our little show. And we'll be back next week with an all-new episode of Dice Camera Action before we part company and go to our separate corners of Seattle. Anybody got any announcements they want to share? I have one, and that is that Spurt, my 15-minute character from Critical Role, is in Idle Champions this week. Super fun. So
Yay!
if you like
Yay.
if you like your characters to die easily and often, then have I got something for you. He's super fun and he has lots of fun stuff. Stingy, the scorpion, makes an appearance. Pepe the skunk makes an appearance, and centipedes and wasps also make appearances.
That's
Dude,
amazing.
that sounds awesome.
Yep. I got
That's
nothing else.
amazing.
I have a cool thing coming up this week at the end of the week for ESPN, but I don't have the details to tell you guys yet. So watch my Twitter, and I'll see you live on Twitch for ESPN. Also, I'm playing Starfinder in a half hour on twitch.tv/Dark Galaxies Gaming.
And what are you playing in that?
What is my character?
Yeah.
She is an ace pilot mechanic named Carmen Nieves, and she
Nieves?
thinks Nieves.
Nieves? Okay.
And she thinks that machines are way better than people, and biological beings are gross. And she's also kind of a galactic like Uber driver. She has a really bad attitude. It's really fun.
Good old usuals that we got a subreddit that you can go to, join in the discussion, join in all the fan art. Lots of real good discussion going on in there. It is exploding with activity and members.
I have an idea.
What's
If
that?
there's, if there's like a link,
Uh-huh.
I feel like
Go on.
you
Tell
should
me more.
spam it.
As it's now over 7,000 members strong over on the subreddit. Be sure that you too can also go in and join on that, which is super neat. Also, there's
I'll
some,
go post the note that I wrote to.
yeah, there you go. Oh, there's also a DCA Discord, which was linked in the chat just now. You can join that. And then for a much more general announcement, don't forget that the Descent is happening
yeah.
very, very soon. And Dice Camera Action is going to be a part of it. And for more details on that, Anna.
Well, the Descent is the 17th through the 19th of May, and we will be there participating in some games, and I don't know how much of that has been revealed or when or how, if that's been revealed, but I will also be there hosting, and you can also buy tickets to attend if you want, or watch the action on Twitch.
All right. Then that's it for this week, folks. Thanks for watching, and until next week, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and have a magical day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.